I'm starting out before sunrise when everything is waking up. My goal today is Norris Peak, the mountain in the center of this video. It'll be a full day, about 10 miles round trip, entirely off trail, about 9 hours on foot. This is exactly the kind of adventure I'm looking for. Now, just to show you where this is the northeast entrance road. Cook City goes up to the right. So right here is the start of the Lamar River Trail. But I'm not going to be going that way. Instead, I'll be going off trail immediately and taking this ridge line up to Mount Norris. Right about here is where I spot a grizzly bear up here in the meadows. And I continue up the ridge line up to Mount Norris and come back the same way. A pronghorn is starting to appear out of the dim morning light. It's actually still pretty dark. Pronghorns are native to North America and they're not antelope. Pronghorns have horns, but the funny thing about their horns is they actually shed the outer layer every year. Pronghorns are built for speed. They're the fastest land animals on the continent. And most of them during the winter will migrate over 100 miles into Wyoming. This one sees me, but it's acting as if it's not sure if I've noticed it or not. But that's how animals usually react in this kind of light in the early morning. As the sky begins to brighten, I encounter a white-tailed deer. You don't see white-tailed deer in Yellowstone as much as you do mule deer. You normally see them, if you see them, you're normally going to see them in the northern part of the park. One way to distinguish a white-tailed deer is that long white tail. Of course, the predators for whitetail are wolves, bears, and cougars. A little later here in the fall, you can hear the elk bugling, which is always a great sound to hear in the morning. Heading up the mountain, there's the Lamar Valley. The Lamar Valley goes up through there. Okay, this is what it looks like now. That is looking north towards Cook City. This is the second pile of bear scat that I've seen going up here. I'd say it's probably a couple weeks old. This looks like a tree where a bear likes to stand and rub. There's some more bear scat just right there. In fact, it's right down there. Let's see if I can zoom in. There it is. It's right there. The pile of bear scat. Looks like a pretty active area for bear. See how everything's kind of pushed down and the way this tree is, the ground is worn out beneath this tree. I'm looking here. There's some probably grizzly bear hair just right there. It's up way too high for a bison. So yeah, you can see kind of on the bark where something's been rubbing against it. It's all rubbed off. Really nice area up here. I'm just hiking along this ridge line. This is all off trail. There's no trail up here other than animal trails. It's a little bit smoky today. I feel like I'm up above some pretty good cliffs. We've done 1,700 vertical feet so far. And top of that mountain, top of that peak, is where I'm wanting to go. Seen a lot of bear evidence. So I want to keep an eye out for bear up here. I see a grizzly bear a couple hundred yards ahead. If you watch carefully, you can see a cub sticking its head up over on the left. There you go. There's the cub. Very hard to see in that short grass. If you weren't looking closely, you wouldn't even know there was a cub with that mother. And for me, when I see a cub that small, it's a little bit more worrisome for me because I just feel like the mom's going to be more protective of a cub. That's, well, you'd call it the cub of the year. It's just born this year. There you can see it standing up on its legs, looking around. Like I said, I'm a couple hundred yards away, so the wind direction is good. I don't think there is much wind at all right now. She is heading over to the right, which is good because I'm going to be hiking up over to the left. Of course, the thing you have to worry about is coming back down. Now you know there's a mother with a cub, which is a good thing. You know that they're there. But you don't know you may not know exactly where they are when you come back down. So you definitely don't want to somehow surprise the mom and the cub. You want to keep her in a calm state. By yelling and making all kinds of noise coming down the hill, you're not going to keep her in a calm state. She's going to be very upset. So that's where I want to go, is up through there. The grizzlies are over there in that clearing to the right in the center of the video there. Since she is staying in that same area, I think it's pretty safe for me to walk up to the left. So you can see her right over there. So notice how she's starting to move, kind of making her way back up the mountain. And that's the problem. I could hike up there and come back down and she could be right in front of me. That little cub stays right close to her. Yeah, she is kind of working her way back to the left a little bit, but She's basically just staying in that same area there. So she's not going anywhere that makes me worry at this point. So I decided to head on up the mountain. This gravelly stuff can be a little tricky, especially coming back down. A lot of nice views up here. The grizzly bears are down in there. Starting to get up into some cliffs. Heading up that way. Looking back down towards Lamar again. Here's a view from almost up at the top. Those cliffs and everything doesn't look like it's very easy to get through, and no use taking the risk going up there. I'm heading back down, and I just ran into another grizzly right here in these trees that ran down there. Okay, there's the view of the peak, Norris Peak there. Hiked up around this way, went down through there. The grizzly bears were right on the other side of that ridge and headed almost up to the peak. So that was a pretty nice day hike.